Tonight's 12 finalists were selected from an extraordinary 195 submissions.
At every global conference, the Global Investigative Journalism Network presents the Shining Light Awards to honour investigative journalism done under threat or duress or in challenging conditions.
Making a Killing, the Balkan Investigative Reporting Network, and the Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project.
Come on up.
Miranda Patrucic was part of a team of journalists that received a citation of excellence for their report, Making a Killing. The joint investigation uncovered massive arms sales between Central and Eastern Europe and the Middle East, worth $1.2 billion. The weapons were shipped to extremist groups, including the Islamic State.
Working together with the Balkan Investigative Reporting Network, OCCRP uncovered 1.2 billion arms pipeline fueling weapons from Balkans into Syrian arms conflict. In terms of conflict in Syria, basically there are innocent lives that are being lost every single day. The amount of ammunition and weapons that is being sent to Syria is enough to keep the conflict going for another 10 years. At the same time, there are people who are massively profiting from sending the weapons and selling them to foreign buyers. And people in my country and in the rest of the world were not aware that this is what it was going on. And it was also illegal. I think the moment we really said, okay, this was worth doing was the moment we realized how big it is. $1.2 billion in arms, going into Syrian conflict. Some of the most important skills we had to learn during this project was how to deal with the massive amounts of data, how to stay organized, because this took months and months of very hard work, how to file the freedom of information request in a way where authorities don't turn you down, and how to pressure them into answering you. It was also very challenging safety-wise, because my colleagues have been followed by the Secret Service in their country. There was a lot of kind of a pressure and a lot of trying to figure out what is it that we are working on. At some point, there were even articles in the local media speculating about what we are doing, and it was a very challenging time. We also had to learn how to trust each other, because we had two equal organizations that had partnered on the project. We had made a decision to jointly edit the stories, which was, when you have two separate editorial systems, the two separate ways of thinking about the story, suddenly you have to come up with a single story that you're both going to publish and you're both going to be happy and proud of. We had a lot of Excel sheets. We exchanged dozens of reports and thousands of pages of records. We had a database of every single flight. We had a database of arms shipments. We had a database of import and export. We had our own libraries of footage from the Syria. It took tremendous effort to basically, watch the videos from inside the country, to reach out to people inside the country. There were big problems with Arabic. None of us spoke Arabic, and yet we were reporting in the countries that required a lot of Arabic. And we had to exchange information in a secure environment. We would have these very long two-day meetings where we would just talk about the stories and talk about the findings and coordinate what reporters were doing in different countries in order to develop the story. I think another important learning point was how to tell a story that might seem very boring, like export of arms. How to tell it in a way that it actually makes a difference, and in a way that people actually want to read the story and want to act on that story. As investigative journalists, they face risks every day. But if you keep thinking about the dangers, if you keep thinking about the pressures, then you're never going to do a story. The stories we do are too important not to be told. And sometimes we have to do them at the risk of our own lives. Of course, a great thing about conferences like this or the trainings in safety is that we do learn how to mitigate the risk. We learn how to take care of ourselves and work in a safe environment despite all the challenges we face. But the story is the most important thing, and telling the truth. And actually, As investigative journalists, we have a unique opportunity to make a difference in the world. And if we don't take that opportunity, nobody else will. And we have to be brave, and we have to work and be reasonable about the challenges we face and the risk we face. Investigations like this wouldn't be possible without a wide network of journalists working on the story. We had journalists from more than a dozen countries actually working on producing Making a Killing. And also it wouldn't be possible without media internationally who were willing to republish the story and also talk to our reporters and get a comment and basically raise the awareness of the story. I think people were shocked. I mean, that was at least the reaction we were getting. People couldn't believe. I remember when The Guardian went and published a story, I was reading the comments, and people were outraged. They were saying, how is this possible? This war is killing so many people. Why are we still allowing this to happen? And I think people often don't see how much weapons we are selling and how the weapons we are making are fueling conflicts elsewhere. But I think when they, nobody likes killing, especially nobody likes killings of innocent people. So people do get outraged when you tell the story, but these stories are so difficult to tell that many of them end up untold.